It was supposed to be a simple family dinner. But when Sarah looked me dead in the eye, smirked, and called me a loser in front of everyone, I felt something inside me go completely silent. No shouting, no reaction, just a switch flipping off. The room froze for half a second after she said it. My uncle laughed awkwardly. My mother tried to change the subject. My sister sipped her wine like she hadn't just gutted me in front of everyone. "Come on, I'm just joking," she added, with that fake laugh she uses when she's lying. I forced a smile. That was the last time I'd ever smile at her. I worked 2 jobs for 4 years, days at the warehouse, nights delivering food, so Sarah could finish her degree. While I slept 3 hours a night, she slept under a roof I paid for. While I skipped meals, she posted pictures of brunches with captions like #BlessedLife. When she graduated, she said, "I couldn't have done it without you." And I believed her. I believed every word. I kept paying her rent while she figured things out. I helped her buy her first car. I defended her when our parents said she was wasting money. I never expected gratitude forever, just respect, a hint of decency. But that night, at the dinner table, when she called me a loser because I was still working blue-collar jobs, something shattered permanently. A week later, my landlord mentioned that Sarah had missed rent. I was confused. My bank showed the transfer went through. So I checked the accounts. Turns out she'd changed the linked account information. She'd been rerouting the rent money into her own account for months. While I was breaking my back to help her survive, she was pocketing the money and telling everyone I hadn't been sending it. That was the moment I stopped being her brother and started being her consequence. I didn't confront her, not yet. I just started documenting every payment, every message, every lie. Then I waited. When her lease renewal came up, I called the landlord directly and told him I wouldn't be responsible for her payments anymore. I also called the bank, reversed my automatic transfers, and froze the joint emergency fund she'd been dipping into. And finally, I called her employer, an event company I had helped her get into, and told them very calmly that her degree was still unpaid because I had been making the installment payments for her tuition loan. They checked. They found out she'd lied about her financial records. But I didn't stop there. I let her fall slowly. 2 weeks later, her landlord called her about the unpaid rent. Then her bank froze her account because the tuition payments were traced back to me. Then her employer put her on temporary leave. She tried to call me. I didn't answer. She texted, begged, said she didn't mean it. I stayed silent. Then came the family dinner, another one, 2 months later. She showed up pale, tired, and quiet. My mother asked why she looked so stressed. I smiled politely and said, maybe because she doesn't have rent money anymore. Everyone turned to her. "What do you mean?" my father asked. I leaned back and looked right at her. Maybe because I stopped paying her bills after she called me a loser. You could hear the silverware drop. She tried to deny it, but I had screenshots, receipts, bank statements. I placed them on the table, calmly, like evidence in court. Her lips trembled. She looked at me like she didn't recognize who I'd become. Maybe because for the first time, she was seeing me clearly, without the guilt, without the loyalty, without the leash she'd held on me for years. My mother gasped. My father's face turned red. My uncle muttered something about family shame. Sarah tried to stand up, but her knees gave way. She whispered, "You ruined me." I looked her dead in the eye. "No, Sarah. You ruined yourself. I just stopped helping you hide it." She cried. My mother told me I'd gone too far. But I didn't raise my voice. I didn't apologize. I just got up, placed my napkin on the table, and said, "Dinner's over." That night, I slept for 8 straight hours, the first time in years. No guilt, no anger, just stillness. Sarah moved out of her apartment a week later. She works 2 jobs now. I hear she's learning how to budget. Funny, isn't it, how life circles back to teach lessons we refused to learn from kindness. I don't hate her anymore. Hatred requires energy. She's not worth that anymore. I just remember her words sometimes, loser, and smile. Because the only thing I lost was the illusion that she ever deserved me.